welcome to The Amazing Way. In today's program, we're talking about a renewable energy that's completely green, efficient, and completely harmless to human beings. And as you can guess, it is the tidal energy. So what is tidal energy? Tidal energy is a form of hydropower that converts the tide's energy into electricity. Its daily schedule is based on the sun's orbit, moon, and the earth itself. So it is highly efficient and predictable. So how does tidal energy work? Well, there are three ways that tide can be tapped for energy. The first way to collect tidal energy is called the tidal barrages. Tidal barrages is using the potential energy between the high tide and the low tide. Scientists can simply build an artificial dam to collect water, and as the water approaches the desired value, they can simply open the gate and let water flow through the turbines and turn potential energy into electricity. The second way to collect the tidal wave energy is called the tidal turbine. Tidal turbine is just a form of underwater wind turbine. It can change the water's kinetic energy into electricity. And the advantage of using water turbine is that there is a promising amount of water that's flowing in and out every day. Therefore, we have a guaranteed electricity that's being produced every single day. The third way to collect tidal energy is called the tidal fences. Tidal fences is just a row of turbines that position in the channel to direct water to flow through the turbines. This is just a brief summary about the tidal wave energy. By now, you're probably thinking, why is Chen talk about physics? Didn't he almost fail his grade 11 physics? Luckily, today we have the honor to invite a famous tidal wave analyst. May I have the honor to introduce the famous Ziheng Chang, the legend! Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so Ziheng, he is a professor at Harvard University. He's so well known, not just for his legendary research on tidal waves, but also for his fascinating experience living on a lonely island for more than 19 years. So this is Ziheng 10 years ago. Wow, Ziheng, you look so different comparing to 10 years ago.
Oops, I'm surprised you found that picture. I started shaving on it.
Okay, back to the topic. So we were just talking about tidal wave energy. Can you please tell us, what is the best location to place the power plants for tidal energy?
It is a tidal power plant. Obviously, it has to be on the water. And a very important factor is the vertical tidal range has to be very high, at least 7 meters, in order to generate enough energy. The water areas of the northwest coast of the Pacific Ocean, like those of the British Columbia, are ideal locations for tidal power plants because the vertical tidal range can be very high and they can be 12 meters high. And another very important thing is the stability of the area's condition, because once the power plant is built, it is really hard to move it around or readjust it. So you don't want a power plant which you spent 5 years to build crushed one day by an earthquake.
I never thought that the location of the tidal energy would play such an important role. Well, so speaking of the setup of the location, is there any health concern to the human at all?
Well, you know what? Tidal energy actually has no direct health concern on human at all.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. So, other than humans, is there any environmental concern to the nearby area?
Well, there is several concerns. It might infect the fish immigration. It may change the water level. It may change how salty the water is, and it might affect the transportation of the sediments by current. All of those usually takes about 20 years to recover after the initial construction.
So in spite of the effects that power plant brings to the area, generally speaking, it's a quite clean source to the environment, right?
Yeah, because the tidal energy is totally predictable because it all depends on the gravitational forces of the sun and the moon, and also because of this, it is totally renewable because it basically won't exhaust until the end of the world, and it has very little noise impact on the environment. And because water is 860 times denser than air, it makes it possible to run at a low current speed.
So let's talk about the economic side of this energy. From previous cases, the cost of the construction seems pretty high. Ziheng, can you tell us more detail about the construction?
The costs for tidal power plants are indeed very high. The construction cost is usually measured in billions. 2200 megawatt power plant in the Philippines costs estimated $3 billion, and an 8,000 megawatt tidal power plant in the UK costs 15 billion, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah, indeed, that's a lot of money. But other than that, is there any additional cost? For example, like the maintenance cost?
Definitely there is a maintenance cost, but comparing to the construction cost of tidal power plants, the maintenance cost is fairly cheap. Studies have shown that the operational and maintenance cost for tidal power plants is less than 0.5% of the initial capital cost. For example, the Lorentz power plant in France produces electricity at 3.7 cents per kilowatt hours. And the 2002 green energy study for BC have estimated the price for electricity from potential tidal development to be in the range of 11 to 25 cents per kilowatt hours, and the price will decline to 5 to 7 cents per kilowatt hours, and that's really cheap. And moreover, tidal power plants usually have a long lifespan, about 100 years. So that long lifespan will make the tidal power plants become more economically favorable over time.
Well, since the cost is so high, is there any funding from either government or private industry?
Yeah, definitely. The government and individuals have contributed a lot for the funding of the tidal power plants. For example, Canadian government has 3 different projects for funding, including the Program of Energy Research and Development, known as the PERD, the Clean Energy Fund, and the Eco Energy Innovation Initiative. And the individuals' funding also plays a very important role. For example, the BlackRock Tidal Power received $10.5 million to finance its Chang project. Investors include Singapore-based investor Envirotech Energy Ventures, and the Canadian venture company, and shuttle shareholders.
To conclude today's program, we know that tidal wave energy is completely green and renewable. On the economic side, although it requires a very high construction cost, but it only requires a very low maintenance cost as well as having a very long lifespan. Therefore, in the near future, tidal wave energy has a very high potential to replace many traditional electricity generators that would cause a lot of pollution to the environment. Well, thank you for coming today, Mr. Chang.
My pleasure.
And thank you for watching The Amazing Ray. And we hope to see you next week.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still hot, knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise doing big business, I live this, it's automatic. I win this, so you hear those horns, you finish. A soldier, and I stay under you fighting. Plus I'm storming on you chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you breaking me, kid, I'm harder than nails. Plus I keep it on lock like I'm part of the jail. I'm slaughtering stale competition. I got the whole block wishing they could run with my division, but they gone fishing with no bait. Kid, your boy hold weight. I got my soul straight. I brush your mouth like Colgate. In any weather, I'm never better. Your boy's so hot, you never catch me in the next man's sweater. If they hate, let them hate. I drop your whole clan. Lay your ass down for the 3-second tan. Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time